Good morning. After finishing the basic talk on glaucoma, now we move on to primary angle closure glaucoma. So, the question which can be asked on narrow angle glaucoma is a long question which can be like pathophysiology of narrow angle glaucoma, or staging and classification, or management of primary angle closure glaucoma. Coming to pathophysiology of narrow angle glaucoma, in dim illumination, that is when the pupils are mid dilated, there is hindrance to the outflow of aqueous from posterior chamber through pupil into the anterior chamber. So there is a contact of iris on the lens and there is a relative pupillary block. This pupillary block leads to collection of aqueous behind the iris, which causes ballooning of the iris, and this causes further crowding of iris into the angle. So there is a relative pupillary block to begin with, leading to iris bombay, which leads to crowding of iris in the angle of anterior chamber. So, what are the predisposing factors? Shallow anterior chamber, that is, when the depth of anterior chamber is less than 1.8 millimeter, small corneal diameter, anterior location of iris lens diaphragm, as can be seen on the topmost picture on the right side, the lens iris diaphragm is shifted anteriorly, short axial length of the eyeball as is seen in hypermetropia, and lens growth with age. These are various predisposing factors. The incidence of narrow angle glaucoma is 1 in 1000 and it is typically seen in 4 to 5th decade. It is usually bilateral but can be asymmetric in presentation. Female to male ratio is 4 is to 1, and the refractive error which is commonly associated with narrow angle glaucoma is hypermetropia. Stages of narrow angle glaucoma. Previously, it was divided into 5 stages, that is, prodromal or latent stage, intermittent, acute congestive, chronic closed angle glaucoma, and absolute glaucoma. With the new system of classification, now narrow angle glaucoma is divided into 3 categories. This classification is based on gonioscopy and clinical findings. So now the newer system of classification has come and it divides into three stages, that is primary angle closure suspect, primary angle closure, and primary angle closure glaucoma. Primary angle closure suspects are those patients when 180 to 270 degrees of trabecular meshwork is not visible on gonioscopy. Primary angle closure are patients who present with high intraocular pressure, sector iris atrophy, glaucoma flecken, iris whirling, peripheral anterior synecdoche with normal optic disc and visual fields. So their optic disc and visual fields are normal, whereas primary angle closure glaucoma are patients who presents with attack of primary angle closure or signs of primary angle closure with glaucomatous optic neuropathy and visual field defects. Primary angle closure can also be of two types depending on the presentation, that is acute primary angle closure or chronic. Acute is when the angle is obstructed suddenly, and chronic is when angle closes with peripheral anterior synechia slowly with or without attacks, and patients are asymptomatic with severe visual field loss and optic neuropathy. This is a UBM picture showing the physiological pupillary block and iris bombay. In the second picture or on your right, there is a condition in dark, that is when the pupils are semi dilated, the iris is in contact with the lens and there is bowing of the iris, that is collection of aqueous behind the iris, and which leads to the angle crowding or the closure. So this is also showing the mechanism of narrow angle glaucoma. Coming to primary angle closure suspect or prodromal stage or latent stage as per the old classification. These patients show transient and intermittent rise in intraocular pressure for few seconds. They may have headaches and colored halos due to high intraocular pressure for few minutes due to closure of angle, which is relieved automatically. Signs are the eye is not congested and intraocular pressure is raised for few seconds or few minutes. AC is shallow bilaterally. Gonioscopy may show grade 1 or 2 angle suggestive of narrow angle. Provocative tests are of two types, physiological and pharmacological tests, which are done in cases of primary angle closure suspects. Here, the attack is precipitated with the help of either physiological process or by pharmacological test. The baseline intraocular pressure is taken and then the patient is taken in a dark room so that the pupils become semi-dilated. After 1 hour, the intraocular pressure is again recorded. The patient may be asked to lie prone in position and again the IOP is recorded after 1 hour. If the intraocular pressure increases more than 8 mm with closed angle on gonioscopy, that is suggestive of primary angle closure suspect. Provocative test, which is of second type, is pharmacological test, but pharmacological test is done on one eye using a short-acting mydriatic, that is tropicamide 0.5%, or using a combination of phenylephrine 10% with pilocarpine 2% to get a semi-dilated pupil. Here, intraocular pressure is recorded at baseline and then after every 10 minutes for an hour. If the intraocular pressure increases more than 8 mm Hg, it is diagnostic of primary angle closure suspect. In PACS, the management is either by surgical or laser iridotomy. If it is detected for the first time and you are suspecting with the history of headaches and colored halos, or by gonioscopy that patient may be a case of primary angle closure suspect, then we can go ahead with laser iridotomy. Or if the other eye had an attack of narrow angle glaucoma, then in the better eye, laser iridotomy can be done as a prophylactic measure. Here the laser beam, YAG laser, is used to create an opening between the posterior and the anterior chamber bypassing the pupil so that there is no relative pupillary block or the element of pupillary block is relieved by doing a laser iridotomy. Coming to a case, this is a female 40 years old. She presented with sudden loss of vision in the left eye. Also, she had pain, redness, and watering, and she also gave history of colored halos in the evening. On examination, her pupils were dilated, vertically oval. She had bilaterally shallow anterior chamber. Intraocular pressure in her left eye was 50 millimeters of mercury, and in right eye it was 12 millimeters of mercury. Now, this is a typical features of primary angle closure, which is a second stage, which is also called as acute congestive stage of glaucoma or primary angle closure. This presents with sudden angle closure and does not terminate of its own. Onset with one of the predisposing factors, that is in the evening there is rise in intraocular pressure. Here you can also see ischemia of iris sphincter in the figure which is shown here. The other symptoms and signs are there is sudden onset of severe pain along fifth nerve with nausea and vomiting, rapidly progressive loss of vision, redness, photophobia, and lacrimation. So acute red eye with sudden loss of vision. Visual acuity is reduced from hand to hand movements and PL and PR. Lid edema, congestion is present. Circumcorneal congestion is present. Cornea is hazy all over. that is the cause of sudden loss of vision. Anterior chamber is shallow with flare. Pupils are semi-dilated, vertically oval, and fixed. Iris may show atrophic patches or it may show iris bombay. Optic disc may show edema and hyperemia. Intraocular pressure is increased. It may be between 40 to 70 mm of Hg, and gonioscopy show iridocorneal contact. Medical management of primary angle closure is to reduce intraocular pressure with the help of hyperosmotic agents. IV mannitol 1 to 2 gram per kg of 20% solution is started immediately to reduce intraocular pressure. If mannitol is not available, then oral glycerin may be used with a dose of 1 to 1.5% per kg of 50% solution. IV acetazolamide 500 mg can be given, and then patient is shifted to oral 250 mg QID. Topical therapy is in the form of pilocarpine, which is a miotic 2% twice in 5 minutes, and then timolol, that is a beta blocker 0.5% BID is started. In the other eye, prophylactic pilocarpine 1% is started so that the other eye should not go in the attack of narrow angle glaucoma. After starting hyperosmotics and topical anti-glaucoma, we assess patient after 1 hour. If the attack is broken, the pupil will become small, cornea will clear, and intraocular pressure will be within normal limits. Pilocarpine 2% and steroids will continue, and peripheral iridotomy is done as soon as the intraocular pressure is under normal limits. If attack is not broken, then immediately laser iridotomy can be tried if cornea is clear. If the attack is not broken with laser, then surgical iridectomy can be tried. Primary angle closure glaucoma or PACG. Here angle slowly and progressively is closed. It starts superiorly and then around 360-degree angle is closed. There are permanent adhesions between root of the iris and cornea called as peripheral anterior synechia, forming a false angle. Intraocular pressure is constantly raised and it behaves like a primary open angle glaucoma. Patient presents with headache, mild pain in eyes, iris atrophy, cupping of the disc, field changes are present, and intraocular pressure is chronically raised. So in PACG, along with signs of PAC, there is also optic disc changes and also field changes. Management of PACG is with the help of surgical trabeculectomy, that is a filtration surgery. Laser iridotomy is successful only if the peripheral anterior synechia are not extensive. Then only laser can work, otherwise patient will need trabeculectomy or the filtration surgery. This surgery can be also combined with the cataract surgery, and that is called as combined surgery. Here you can see a hole is created in the trabecular meshwork, and then the aqueous is drained from the posterior chamber directly into the subconjunctival space. So this is a picture showing a trabeculectomy. Absolute glaucoma is the end stage glaucoma. Here optic atrophy is present, causing no perception of light vision. Iris atrophy patches may be seen, pupils are dilated and fixed, lens may show glaucoma flecken, and the eye is stony hard. Fundus will show deep glaucomatous cupping as shown in the figure, and scleral staphylomas, that is ciliary and equatorial staphyloma, may be present. Patient will have recurrent episodes of pain, watering, severe pain along the fifth nerve. AC is anterior chamber is usually shallow. Visual acuity is no PL, that is no perception of light because there is optic atrophy. Corneal signs are many, like bullous keratopathy, band keratopathy, filamentary keratopathy in the absolute stage of glaucoma, and corneal sensations are also lost. On the conjunctiva, there is a typical appearance of dilated anterior ciliary vein called as medusa head appearance, which is shown in the figure. Management of absolute stage, that is a blind and painful eye, is with the help of atropine 1% BID. Steroids in the form of dexamethasone can be started to relieve spasm, ciliary spasm. Patient, if demands, then enucleation can be done, but usually we avoid doing enucleation for blind and painful eye for glaucoma. Retrobulbar injection of 1.5 ml procaine followed 7 minutes later by 50% alcohol can be done, and cyclocryotherapy, that is 6 application of 180 degrees of cryo is applied 2.5 mm from limbus at minus 60 degrees for 60 seconds. This will freeze the ciliary processes which secrete aqueous, so that here we are reducing the formation of aqueous so that the intraocular pressure will be reduced in these patients. So the expected questions on narrow angle glaucoma are: discuss differential diagnosis of sudden loss of vision, discuss clinical features, signs and symptoms of acute congestive glaucoma with management. So normally usually the second stage or acute congestive glaucoma signs and symptoms and management is asked along with differential diagnosis of sudden loss of vision. These are the references.